How are you?
Oh, I'm not bad. I wake up every morning, look under the duvet, see if anything's fallen off. If it hasn't, I get up and go, right, another day, here we go.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling well. So yeah, thank you for your time. Really
Yeah,
appreciate you
no problem. Thank
talking
you.
to us. There's a lot going on at the moment because you've got the Grumpy Christmas stocking tour kicking off in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Um, it's obviously a tradition for you now. I mean, what can fans expect from you this year?
Um, I'll be brutally honest, it's nothing amazingly new. It's a tried and tested format that really works for me, which is a mixture of pieces that I know people like to hear, and I like to play stuff from, like Bowie, Life on Mars and things, and
Yeah.
Morning is Broken, plus some Yes stuff and some other stuff. And I intermingle it with sort of Christmas pieces and kind of which I could adapt, because the great thing about a lot of the Christmas music, it's ever so adaptable
Yeah.
to play in the sort of style I like to play in, and then mix it in with the usual completely stupid stories, which do contain an element of truth, sometimes as much as 2%. And throw those all in, and it's just nice. I just like it. There's just me, a piano, grand piano, a couple of keyboards, and a Christmas tree, and it's just Christmas for me. I just love it, and I see so many old friends and new friends at the shows, and of course now that the lockdown's sort of gone, it's nice. You can actually see people out, as well as before. Sometimes you were looking down at a sea of masks and things. You go, it was like being, sort of looking at a casualty reunion.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a great experience, was it?
No, it was. It wasn't. But it was, and I thought it was better than nothing.
Yeah.
And I did my best, and I think from the reports and things we got from people seemed to, appreciate it. But there was an element of it just seemed to be an element of insecurity around everyone through all of that, and I fully understand it.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get back to sort of some semblance of normality,
Yeah, I was speaking to another band about that. They said there was definitely uncertainty, and it seemed to still be carrying on because they were turning up at shows and they were kind of half full, even though it kind of sold out. There were still people not turning up.
Oh yeah, I had that. Yeah, had it a lot, and the last 3 years with everything that's gone on with COVID, with the war out in Ukraine, uncertainty over things, and it really has been. The 3 years, and I think probably got another year at least of sorting out, and heaven knows what's going to happen in the Ukraine. So we're probably looking at a 5-year period that will go down in history as one of the most difficult for everybody. Everybody in the world, it'll be the most difficult because we still don't even know what the aftermath is going to be.
No, absolutely. But I mean, on that note, looking forward to the shows, do they give it that kind of extra special kind of element? Because obviously,
there's been a few things that sort of really made me sit up and think. First of all, it makes you very aware that the future is now, not in a year's time or 2 years' time. Excuse me. And so I've decided that very much that if there's something that I want to do, I've got a big whiteboard in the office with a lot of stuff written on it that I'm going to do. That's on not just on a bucket list, but is going to actually happen.
Right.
And I reckon with a bit of luck, if I live to 97, I've got a chance of doing it all.
Is there anything you're going to admit to us that will surprise us?
A lot of children's stuff.
Okay.
Which is something I wanted to sort of get involved with, and I've been working on for a little while. There's a ballet involved. Okay. I've done one which the London Lewis Ballet did, which was great fun. It's just, I suffer from arthritis in the hands and leg, and there will come a time where it's going to be too painful to play anymore. So I'm setting up a lot of recording stuff and things for the future to do, because I can't even contemplate life without music.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, just looking forward to the tour then. I mean, what's your favourite part about doing it as opposed to a standard tour?
It's interesting for me because every night is slightly different. You never play exactly the same. There's always something that happens. You go, oh, that was interesting, or I won't do that again, something like that, which is great fun. I mean, I'll be playing 2 pieces off of the new album, which
Right.
is which will be nice to do. The album's got 8 vocal tracks on it, 2 band tracks and 2 piano tracks.
Okay.
Obviously, being on my own, it's the 2 piano tracks that I will play.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice to do those live for the first time. And every place is different. All of the venues I've played before,
Yeah.
and it's always nice to go back. There's always somebody there who was there before who you meet. It's nice to meet a mixture of old friends and new friends, and it's really nice.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that at some of the places on this tour you've not been to for several years. Are there any particularly that you're looking forward to going back to?
I'm looking forward to going back to Buxton because the Opera House is the matchups here. That's a really lovely place.
Yeah.
Bath, really like going to Bath. It's not so easy trying to park in Bath, but I like going
Yeah, I've
there.
been there. Yeah.
It's a bloody nightmare. The same with York.
Well, we live up near York.
I mean, to be brutally honest with you, every single venue I like and I know quite well.
Yeah.
And so, as I set off going, I go, I wonder if I'll see Fred there or whoever's going to turn up. So it's nice. Just the one thing I do hope is that the weather is not too disastrous, because when you've got a 3 or 4 hour drive to somewhere, you don't want it in horrible weather.
We're in Harrogate, and we travel to York, so a nightmare even in good weather. But anyway,
fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, in terms of Christmas, you said you love Christmas as a kind of tradition. I mean, what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
I think my favourite thing about Christmas these days is that you can, for a period of time, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever you choose, you can actually put all the troubles, nightmares, both personal, and I'm talking about in general for everybody here, personal, countrywide, worldwide, you can put them to one side.
Definitely.
And just go, no, that's not under discussion for the next few days or whatever.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you have to come back to reality at the end of the day, but it's not a bad thing to move away from the real world for a period of time. And Christmas helps you to do that. And that's why I've always loved Christmas, and it's even more important to me now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there isn't anybody in the world who doesn't have some difficulties to face, whether it's obviously for a lot of people financial, whether it's health-wise or family-wise, and it's just nice to be able to put those into perspective without everything else sort of clambering on top, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of a Christmas day, what's a typical Rick Wakeman Christmas day like?
Christmas day is, this year, because we're in the process of moving house, so this year we're actually going out to eat.
Right.
On Christmas lunch, because we are literally between houses. And,
right.
By Christmas Day we won't have anything to eat on at this house, which is going up for sale. And so what we decided to do, we're going to a local place, hotel, which we know very well.
Okay.
The owner's a good friend of ours, and he's doing Christmas lunch, so there'll be myself, my wife, and my mother-in-law,
right.
And we will go off and have. So Christmas Day, we'll be off to have lunch. Probably in the morning, we will take the dogs just for a short walk. Then we'll go off to Christmas lunch. Then we'll come back. Then we'll take the dogs out for to a run free. We have lots of run frees in the area where you can take your dogs. You have the place all to yourself. It's a secure 2-3 acre place, woodland and things. They just run around and have great fun because we can't let ours off the lead elsewhere because they're rescues.
Right, okay. What kind of dogs are they?
We've got 2 rescues from the war zone in Sarajevo.
Oh, wow, okay.
Big Garra, he's a cross between a black lab and a Bernese mountain dog.
Wow.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he's 13 now. He's just gorgeous. And we've got a Husky Alsatian cross.
Oh, we had a Husky. So.
Yeah, just gorgeous. He's sitting only a few inches away from him. He's lovely. And we've got a Labrador,
right.
a white lab who we bought from a restaurant butchers in China, where she was on the menu.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we took 7 months to get her back, but we've got her back. So we've got those. We've got 3 rescue cats as well. So so Christmas is animal time as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll take them to the Rung Freeze, and we'll just and then probably in when we get back in the evening, we will find a spare packing case and
carry on packing
and play Scrabble or something daft like that.
Brilliant. I mean, just on that note, I mean, it seems like a very family-orientated Christmas for you. Are there any Christmas traditions that you do away with?
No, we tend on Christmas Eve we do go to the midnight communion on Christmas Eve at the church. We also what we do with the kids, because I've got 6 kids and 13 grandchildren. It is impossible because they're scattered so far and wide. Everywhere from Cleveland in Ohio to Montreux in Switzerland, and in England sort of Buckingham, Farnham, Cheltenham, Sussex. I mean, they're all over the place. So it's impossible to get everybody together. So what we try and do is either just before Christmas or just we all meet up somewhere.
Okay.
And have a bit of madness. The things that do I not like about Christmas? Nothing.
Brilliant.
To be brutally honest with you, I enjoy Christmas. Unfortunately, my lovely wife has a lot to do because I mean I'm on tour right up until November, so she'll have tons to do. Plus the fact, as I say, we're in the process of moving.
Yeah, you timed that well. That was well timed.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Brilliant. Okay, I mean, what about Christmas movies? Are you a fan of Christmas movies?
National Lampoon's Christmas is my favourite film of all time.
Yeah.
I just think is absolutely wonderful. My wife and her mum just love all the Christmas because there's so many Christmas channels that come up.
Yeah.
And they love especially the what I call the American rom-com Christmas movies.
Okay.
Which, there's about 1,000 of them, and they all have the same story. And they're not for me. So I go upstairs and watch the football or Dad's Army reruns. But there's always some good stuff on. I mean, there always used to be some great sitcom Christmas specials.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
that's disappeared though, hasn't it? Now there's just not that anymore.
But they rerun a lot of them, which I really quite like, which are great fun. So I'll do all of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, brilliant.
See, neither my wife and I drink, so it's sit down and I will overindulge in everything that I shouldn't be overindulging and just thoroughly enjoy myself.
Well, like you said, if you can't do it at Christmas, when can you do it?
Absolutely right, yeah.
I mean, one thing you've touched on, very early on was...
Touched on what, sorry?
One thing you touched on quite early on was it's kind of a time of reflection as well for people. I mean, looking back over the last year for you, I mean, on a personal level and a kind of musical level, how would you describe 2022?
On a musical level, the last 3 or so years have been really difficult. This year, it started to get better. Yeah. There seems to be the world, there's an element of a lot of people are going, well, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
I want my life back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's absolutely right, and I feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost 19 friends during the whole COVID thing.
Okay.
And in some where I literally had seen them 2 days before, and 2 days later they're gone.
Yeah.
And it's just, you go, hold on a minute. Now, I remember when my mother, bless her, my mum died of breast cancer. And,
right.
Just a few months before she passed away, I was up at her bungalow. We used to go up every day. And she got out her best tea service, which was her grandmother's.
Oh, okay.
That shows how old it was.
Yeah.
Way from the sort of the mid 1800s, I think.
Wow.
And I said, "Cool, Mum, I've not seen this out before." She said, "I know." I said, "You were saving that for best." And she said, "So did you ever see it come out?" I said, "No." She said, "I've discovered that there's no such thing as best. Best is now."
Yeah, yeah.
She said, "So I'm getting all the stuff out that I was saving for a special occasion, and I'm using it now."
Brilliant.
And she's dead right.
Yeah.
You know, best is now.
Absolutely.
And the future is now. So, you know, I've got a big whiteboard with a lot of stuff written on it that I want to do.
Yeah.
And intend to do and will do as much as I possibly can.
Brilliant. Okay. On that note, then, just for fun, then, if you could play any Christmas panto character, I mean, which one do you think would most suit your personality?
I did panto at the Hall for Cornwall in Truro.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I played Abanazar.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which was brilliant.
Yeah.
And that is, to me, for the villain part, it doesn't get any better than that. I had 3 glorious months in Cornwall doing that with a great cast. It was a lot of fun. I did do it. I got offered loads more pantos after that.
Really?
But, I had such fun doing that one, and you know, I thought, I've done it, and it was so good.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Are you waning towards doing it again? Is that kind of?
Would I do it again? Well, this was 20 years ago, and there's a big difference between doing it when you're 53 and when you're 73. So I don't think I'd do it again.
Brilliant. Okay, just to finish off then, I mean, it's been great talking to you, and good luck with the tour. Looking ahead then towards 2023, what does the year hold in store for you?
Well, I've got 30 solid days of rehearsal, putting 4 shows together for the London Palladium in February.
All right, okay.
I'm doing that. Then I go to America for a piano tour, and then I'll come back, and I will probably, there's some things being set up for in Europe, which is opening up again now.
Yeah.
You know, quite a lot, and then I suppose it's sometime in January, probably I'll sit down with my manager. We'll work out all the things that are possible and not possible, what's opening up again, what's not opening up again, and what we can do.
Right.
And also during that year, one of the things I'm going to do, because I've got all the formats already done and the stories already put together, is to do a 3rd Grumpy Old Rockstar book.
Oh, brilliant. As your just on that note, has your manager seen your whiteboard yet with your list on it?
Has he seen my? No, he hasn't. No, and he's not going to see it either. He's not going to see that. No.
Brilliant. Okay, perfect. Well, I think we've covered everything. Thank you for your time. It's been great talking to you.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much.